I'm Amelia, and I'm a recent graduate of the Regulatory Science Master's program. I graduated last summer, and I'm here to share my story and some of my peers' experiences with you today. So I feel like I really came into regulatory science by trial and error. I tried out a bunch of different things. I thought I wanted to be a vet in high school, so I volunteered, but I realized it wasn't for me. In college, I majored in chemistry while also taking many business courses because I always thought there have to be more jobs out there, like at pharmaceutical companies that aren't doctor, pharmacist, lawyer, or scientist. Like there has to be some combination of these things, and it wouldn't hurt to understand both science and business. While in undergrad, I also did bench research, and while I liked the bench, I quickly realized I didn't want to spend my entire career in a lab. I also was interested in government affairs, so I pursued a Fulbright fellowship, and after my year-long program, I was still unsure about what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to work in biotech, and I wondered if I needed a PharmD or a PhD in order to do so. So after some Googling, like a true millennial, I found the regulatory science program on the USC website, and that really piqued my interest. Just like Dr. Pasipsi mentioned, it was like all of my passions in one thing. It was science, business, government affairs, both in the US and abroad. And when I glass-doored the regulatory affairs jobs, I noticed the pay was well within a range I was comfortable with. I also realized I could work and get more experience and earn money while also pursuing my master's since the classes were during the weekends. So I applied and was accepted into the program. Frequently, the program sent out internship opportunities, and within a few months of being in the program, I was working 2 internships, one with a small biotech company focusing on toe fungus, and another as a clinical research coordinator working in irritable bowel disease, where I worked with patients and doctors and pharmaceutical companies sponsoring clinical trials. Even with only a few months of courses under my belt, I felt well prepared for the internship interviews and also the job duties. And after just 1 year in RegSci courses, I was confident that if I wanted to apply for medical or pharmacy school, I would be awarded an interview because I had a really comprehensive understanding of how products are tested and used in patients. For me, I didn't want to do that because I really fell in love with regulatory science and I just wanted to learn more. The RegSci program gave me the tools and abilities to even conduct and present my research. You can see the picture here on the slide, which really helped further my public speaking and critical thinking skills. After completing the program and graduating with my master's, I wanted to work for a pharmaceutical company to see drug development from just a molecule to product approval. So I used my connections with USC, and within a couple months of looking and interviewing, I accepted a role at Gilead. Actually, when I was interviewing, a former student of the USC RegSci program was even on my interview panel, and this made me really thankful for my #Trojan family. It was really nice to connect with someone like that. In my current role as a Senior Regulatory Affairs Associate, I help with activities across the product life cycle, like annual safety reporting, to helping prepare investigational new drug applications in order to begin clinical trials, and serving as FDA's first point of contact for Gilead. I started at Gilead back in September as a regulatory associate too, and was quickly able to move into a more senior role, and I can see a path for me to advance further. Having a master's has already shown me that I was able to advance quickly in my career since I had the necessary skills needed to succeed in industry. Problem solving, familiarity with searching for information on the FDA website, and presenting. As I look at the degrees of folks in industry, I would say that most people have some form of graduate degrees, and the people with degrees in regulatory science are able to go to very senior roles. My specialized degree also sets me apart from my peers, and I feel really confident that I have a thorough understanding of drug development. I feel like well prepared for the role I'm in. Overall, I guess I'm just really grateful for all the opportunities that the master's degree opened up for me, which wouldn't have been available without it. So not too long ago, I was in a similar place to a lot of you, and for me it was helpful to hear about others' career paths. So I don't want to just share my career path, I want to share some other student experiences with you now. So this is Ashray, and Ashray has his bachelor's of pharmacy and master's of regulatory science, and he's gained experience in both the pharmaceutical industry and medical device industry. And with his degree and experiences, he can move between both pharmaceutical companies and device companies and be a really key contributor to combination product development. So during his master's, David signed up to complete a TRACS project, like Dr. Pasifsi had mentioned. And in the TRACS program, you work with a company on a semester-long project to address a real business need. And David was eventually hired by the company he worked with on his TRAC project. And I'll let him say a few words now.
Hello, my name is David Yedin Hu. I graduated from USC's Regulatory Science Department in 2018 with a master's degree in management of drug development. So right now I'm actually in Seoul, South Korea, working for a mid-sized pharmaceutical company called UU Pharma. I am a manager of business development, and I help my company run several new drug development programs, as well as engage in many in-licensing, out-licensing, and sponsor research activities. So what I found to be most valuable about my RegSci experience is actually the chance to connect with and learn from people with deep industry knowledge. A lot of my fellow classmates, as well as the guest speakers, are actually working professionals in the pharmaceutical or medical device industry. And oftentimes they like to share their experiences and their thoughts on regulatory related issues. And by talking to them, I got a much better understanding on this field of work. And they actually guide me through a lot of my career decisions. So I hope whoever is about to join this program or whoever is in this program will share the same exciting and great experience like I do.
This is Nora. Nora and I worked on a research project together when we were both students, and Nora recently obtained a full-time position in clinical project management at Genentech after completing a competitive internship at the same company. Eric's degree has enabled him to gather a large breadth of experiences. He currently works as a consultant in biotech and has held positions in regulatory, quality, and business development for several companies. And all of these students I just talked about, graduated with their masters within the last few years. And now I want to share Beryl's story with you, if you could go to the next slide.
Hello everyone, my name is Beryl Shaw and I am an alumnus of the USC Regulatory Science program. I graduated back in 2011 and I currently work for Gilead Sciences in Foster City up in the Bay Area as a manager in the Regulatory Affairs labeling team. I would like to give you a quick glimpse of my career and how my degree and experience at USC helped me through my journey in regulatory affairs. I have my undergraduate degree in pharmacy that I got in 2009 and immediately after that enrolled into the USC Regulatory Science program. During the program in the last semester, I attended the Regulatory Science Career Fair and landed an internship at a company called Nutrilite. Nutrilite is a nutraceutical company in Orange County. To be honest, I had never considered the food or the dietary supplement industry as a career path. It was always very clear in my head that it was either pharma or med device that I wanted to enter. But I thought it was only an internship and I would only learn and gain from this experience. So I decided to give it a go. And like they say, the rest is history. I was at Nutrilite for the next 8 years. And somewhere around the 7-year mark, I had felt like my learning had started to plateau and I was completely operating within my comfort zone. I knew professionally I needed to shake things up a bit. So I joined Gilead Sciences in 2018 and have been with the company for the past year and a half. The regulatory science program really gave me that solid foundation for understanding the regulatory environment that is present and ever evolving within the healthcare industry. The program was so essential for the development of my critical thinking skills and strategic approach to challenges. When I switched industries from nutrition to pharmaceuticals, I was able to leverage that education and leverage the network that I had gained from the program to ensure a smooth transition. The USC program is so unique because the professors and guest speakers have an excellent background and such a strong interest in sharing their knowledge. At the same time, the students within the program have such diverse backgrounds and bring fresh perspectives to the discourse. I still remember I learned so much through the group projects. And what really makes this program so special is that it really grooms you into a well-rounded regulatory affairs professional, whether it comes to technical, writing, public speaking, or practical skills. And I can say that till today, I use those skills. Thank you.
So I hope these stories have helped all of you better see where a degree in regulatory science could help you go.